Hey folks, it's time for more Tetris stuff. Another Tetris project because I'm obsessed with Tetris and that's what I do. So I'll play a game of Tetris here while I talk. This is Nintendo Tetris, and I'm going to embark on a project for Tetris. So what I'm going to do, and I've done this before, um, using other tools and technologies. Um, I am wanting to attach this Nintendo feed, whoops, to my computer, which I mean it is now. That's why you can see it. And I want to create a robotic announcer to call this game. So it will say, "Hey, nice Tetris," and all that stuff. And yeah, I have other playlists on YouTube that you can go check out that sorry, now I'm in the Tetris mode here. That you can check out. I have done this in C sharp. That was my first time implementing it. It wasn't great, but it was something cool. But it relied on screenshots where I was actually streaming the video to whoops my monitor and then capturing the display. Then I moved over to C++. Whoops. Okay, yeah, I'm not the greatest, but I have a hard time talking at the same time as playing. So then I did a project in C++. I basically re-implemented that C sharp program, and I learned a lot about. Oh, goodness me. Okay, I learned a lot about C++. Mostly how I hated C++. And the reason I hated C++ was because I was trying to use it in the same way that I regularly use C sharp. And there are like 9 different constructors I'm supposed to override and all sorts of things in C++. And I was trying to make it fast and efficient, and it just ballooned. And there were so many weird concepts that I didn't understand, and so I sort of abandoned that project. I did get it running relatively okay. So what am I doing now? Well, I've decided to revisit this project. Um, and you might think it's kind of a stupid thing I'm doing, but I am attempting to re-implement what I had in C, bare bones C. I mean, I will use helper libraries for the image processing. I'm going to use OpenCV, like I did for my C++ version. But my C++ version was heavily inspired by my C sharp version. So it was necessarily very object oriented. And in C, I do not have objects. I can't do that. I will probably still try to do something, but between you and me, I am not a very accomplished C programmer. I know the very basics, but I'm hoping that this project will help me understand C a little better because that's my goal. I want to understand C better. So I find the best way to learn something new is to pick a project that you already know mostly inside and out what exactly you want to accomplish. So your brain doesn't keep thinking about, what you want to implement it. Sorry, what you want to implement. You only need to worry about how you're going to implement it. So that's kind of the plan. Um, yeah, uh, I'm not going to worry about cross-platform. All my monitors just went dark. One second. Okay. Did that continue to record? I don't know. All my monitors went dark, so my apologies if that interrupted the feed. I'm not worried about making this cross-platform. This'll this'll be for Linux. I don't care about Windows. It would be cool if I could get this to actually, I don't know, be like a Docker. Whoops. Yeah, built with Docker, and then I could sort of allow Windows to run it, but I will stop after this game. Yeah, so if you're familiar with other Tetrises, this is old school. The pieces are completely random, which means you could go 30 pieces before you ever see a long bar. And since Tetrises are key to scoring points, it's very important that you don't run into those kinds of droughts. Modern Tetrises use 7-bag randomizers where you're guaranteed a long bar every 14 pieces. Um, but yeah, so now I'm just kind of waiting until I die. Actually, a semi-okay game here. Although I don't expect any glorious glorious things to happen past level 19. That's when the speed increases, and I basically call it quits at that point. And we'll get to level 19 at 130 lines here, so it's coming. And yeah, I made some bad moves. So if I don't get this cleaned up right away, oh, that was a timely long bar, then I will definitely not be able to survive very long. Hey, there's a Tetris. Okay. There we go. I got it cleaned up in time for level 19, and here we go. Level 19 is considerably faster, but you know, I'm up to 549,000 points. This might actually be a really good game. My personal best is just under 700,000. So any game that I play that approaches 600,000 is really, really good. And you can see here, wow, that's kind of nice. Oh, and that's it. Okay, 615,000 for this intro video. Nice. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Let me turn that off. And we'll turn the Nintendo off. And let's go here. Let's go here. Okay. So I don't know much about C. Whoops, there we go. No, I don't want that. We're going to do this in VS Code because reasons, you know. Okay, so what we're going to do though is I want to get a terminal here. Okay, I've got some testing things here. So we're gonna make this. We're gonna call this um, Tetris Tools. That's gonna be the name of the project because I don't know what else is coming in this project, but that's good. Okay, we will open up the folder Tetris Tools. Now I am going to be looking off to the side of my screen. Yes, of course I trust myself. Um, that's just me looking at my test make files, and I will have my C++ project sort of off to the side. We don't need to see that because it's probably really bad. I may drag it into view every once in a while, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm trying to do this all without Copilot. You can see up here I've got it disabled. Yeah, okay, so first of all, let's create a make file. I think I can, no, that's a new window. How do you make a new, Control N, there we go. Okay, so my make file is going to be relatively simple. I am going to use Clang. I'm told the errors and warnings are a little more understandable. I'm going to turn on all warnings and debugging symbols. My target is going to be Tetris tools. And I don't know, maybe I should hyphen it like that. That might be better. My sources right now is just a main file, which we will create soon. My objects are all my source files. Where, how does this work now? The sources, except the .c equals .o. There we go. So that means if I have a main.c as my sources, my objects will be main.o. It'll always be whatever the name of the file is, replace the .c with the .o. Those are my object files. Okay, I'm going to have an all. Make all is making the target. I'm going to have a rule for making my target, which is going to rely on the objects. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to call the compiler with the flags. And we're going to output the target. Oops, here we go. We're going to output the target and we'll link with the objects like so. Okay, that's good. That's how you build the target. And then I'm going to have this fancy, in order to build every object file, it's going to rely on the corresponding C file. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to compile again with the C flags. And this fancy nonsense here, that means we're compiling the .c file and the output is the .o file. I'm told that the less than sign corresponds to the right-hand file, and the @ symbol corresponds to the left hand. So there you go, and it does the replacing according to the wildcards. Now we're going to have a clean, and this is just going to remove the target and all of it, the object files. Okay, so that's kind of what we got going on here. Yeah, this is my make file. Make file. Okay, so that's there. We've got that. Now let's make the main file. So this is the main. We'll do something stupid for now just to make sure everything is sort of working. Main do this because this is what you do when you're writing C. I guess we will do the standard hello world program, except this will be welcome to Tetris Tools. And we'll do that. We'll return 0 and everyone will be happy. Now, if I attempt to build this, I'm missing a separator. What's going on? Oh, I think I need a, right, I need a make target here. Let me just verify with my test project that I'm doing this right. So this is Tetris Tools. This will let me launch that. Okay, does that work? Make file 10, missing separator. Line 10. What's wrong with this? Why doesn't this work? Oh, I think this is my issue. No, that's not my issue. What's my issue? Missing separator on line 10. The interesting thing is, I don't know what's different. This is my test. Here, I'll pull this out and we'll have a look. This is my test, and this one works. I don't see. Okay, I guess what I'll do is I'll copy all of this. Let's make a new file and we'll compare these things. Compare with the make file. What's different? Nothing is different. Everything is the same. So what the heck is the problem? Don't save that. Terminal process. Oh, come on. What's going on? Make file 10. Target. Sources. Objects. Missing the separator. Okay, let me view. What's going on? Here. Oh, you know what? This is the reason. I think that's the reason. I need this to be tabs. Tabs, change, convert indentation to tabs. There we go. Okay, I think make files Absolutely require tabs. Okay, so let's try this again. There we go. Whoops. Okay, and so now I can run this. I can run this. There we go. Welcome to Tetris Tools. Okay, we're like almost all the way there. Haha, no, we're not. Awesome. Okay, well now comes the now we'll start the hard part. Actually turning this into something. The problem is if I do tabs, so tabs stay at tabs on the make file. What is this? I don't care about that. I want to make indent using tabs 4. There we go. And now, there we go. I want tabs. I want tabs instead of spaces. Uh, okay, so we're good. And we have this, and we even have a debugger. So let's check that debugger out. Perfect. There we go. And our first argument is the path, the current path. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, give me 1 second. Here, let me open this. So just so you can see, this is my C++ project, and I heavily used object uh, OO concepts. I have a lot of things. I was trying to put in a Tetris AI into it. Didn't really work out very well. I mean, it sort of did, but not really. Um, but I want to keep this same structure, but use C. So it'll be whoops. It'll be a bit interesting. Anyway, so the first thing I want to do is to really get the data model. Yeah, we really want the data model that drives everything. So in a C program, let me see if I can bring up a screenshot here. Here's a screenshot. Fix that. Okay, so this is, come on. Okay, this is a Tetris screen. So we have a few pieces of information that are going to be used to give the program the ability to understand what's going on. And you surprisingly need very little. So in order for I want things like I want the program to understand when, say, for instance, the user gets a Tetris, because then the announcer is going to say, "Hey, way to go, great job," or he's going to insult you, if you haven't got a Tetris for a while. We also want to understand when the level changes happen, when the speed will change. Um, we also want to be able to understand that the player is maybe about to break their personal best, and the announcer can cheer them on. We also want to be able to have the announcer understand not just that the level is going to increase, because in this version of Tetris, not every increase of level increases the speed. It's determined by what level you start at. So we want the program to be able to understand, this many lines until this next speed up occurs. So stuff like that. Um, and you can actually do all of that by just grabbing the numbers here. So the the three zeros, the line, if you can extract this and understand it, then for instance, you can take a snapshot, and if the next snapshot you take has more lines, that number is bigger than lines were cleared by the player. If that number is 4, so in one frame you are at 10 lines, and then the next frame you're at 14 lines, guess what? There's only one way to do that. That's by scoring a Tetris. And so the program will be able to understand. The program needs to be able to understand the level and the score. The top score is sort of Nintendo cartridges don't by default have memory. So every time you power on the game, that top is always 0. It's just your top score for your current play session. Um, we can do things like that's really all we need to do. We can enhance it by understanding these numbers here off to the left, although in previous iterations of this program, I have not been able to do that successfully. The red digits are very difficult to recognize. Um, and I'm building my own digit recognition algorithm. I'm not relying on some other thing. So that's that's just what we do. I mean, so I could try and sharpen the image or something like that to see maybe if it's going to work, but we'll leave it for now. Well, we won't use it for now, but what we are going to do is we're going to create a data model to hold all the bits of information for one screenshot of Tetris. So the lines, the top, the score, the level, and each of these piece counts. So every time a piece appears on the playing field, these numbers increase. Uh, we would be able to do stuff with it, but it's a little bit wonky, as I said, about the red digits. So it's a little unfortunate, but we'll still capture it, and we'll do this lazily. So we're not going to recognize every digit for every frame. We're only going to recognize the digits that we need to. So that'll be part of our data model. So we need a data model. And I think what I want to do is I want to make a new folder here. We're going to call it source. And we're going to make a new folder, and we're going to call it include. In include, we're going to make a new folder called data models. And in data models, we're going to make a new header file, and this is going to be called Tetris data model.h. All right, we're going to do this pragma once thing so that we don't unnecessarily include it in other files because we're going to be using this header a lot. I really like pragma once. Normally you'd go if not defined, and then you'd have something stupid like this, Tetris data model H kind of thing. If it's not defined, then go ahead and define it. Then you define it, and then you'd have all of your code, and at the end you just go end if, and you wouldn't have this pragma once. That's gross to me. I hate that. I hate looking at it. It's stupid. I'm sorry. I don't. Yeah. And the fact that, from what I understand, compilers since like years and years and years will let you do pragma once. I'm just going to use pragma once. It might not be like C99 compliant, but this isn't 1999. Okay, what are we doing? We're making Tetris. We're making a struct for a Tetris. So I'm going to see what I got here. So we've got, okay, Tetris data. We're going to call it Tetris data. And I am going to capitalize my types. I don't know what the C convention is and why is my indent spaces? Why is my indent spaces? Is that because it's a .h file? Uh, tabs, indent using tabs. There we go. Maybe I have to do it for each file extension. Okay. All right, let me blow this up a bit, make it easier. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to, yeah, and again, I am really not very proficient at C yet, but, and again, I got my notes over here. So what we're going to do is we are going to say pragma once. I want a Boolean. So what is that? Bool.h? Is that the thing? I don't know what this is. std bool. There we go. This will give me my bool. So we've got a bool, and this is going to be is playing. Okay, this tells the compiler, Um, this says, are you actually currently playing a game of Tetris? This will be important to be able to recognize new games and whatnot. Can I do that in C? I don't know. Can I? Is that real? Can I initialize it like that? Let's see. Okay, then we're going to have a uint a unsigned int. Yeah, a uint. I mean, 8 characters is 8 bits. A uint 32 t maybe. Can I include that? Oh, wait a second. No, that doesn't look right. std types. What is that? What does that include I need? std Anyway, we're going to do this. Score equals 0. And then hopefully my include cstd int. I don't think I want that, do I? If not defined, bits types. What library is this? Huh. I didn't realize that. And then what is that? That's an unsigned int. Okay. Control back. Okay. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we'll use the uint 32. Let's see here. 8 bits gets you 255. What is 216 17. Yeah, we'll give it a 32. Okay. Uh, the lines though, we only need a uint 16. No, we only need a uint 8. Lines, the number of lines, you're never going to get 255 lines. Not me anyway. Okay, and then we have the level, which is also just going to be an 8-bit integer. And yeah, this is just level equals 0. And now we're going to go through the TJ uint 8 T count. And there are 7. 1, 2. How come Control D doesn't? Well, that's weird. My multi-cursor. My goodness. Come on. I thought Control D duplicated your line. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Here we go. J. And then the Z. And then the O. And the S. And the L. And the I. You say that's not alphabetical. No, it's not. But that is the order in which they appear on the game from top down. So that's what I want. Okay, we're going to leave it at that. That is what it is. Struct. Let me change this. Tetris data. Now, do I do this? Tetris data. What doesn't it like? No code actions available. Type def. Type def. That's what I want. How do you do a type def? Do I have an example of a type def somewhere? I think you do this maybe. Struct Tetris data S Tetris data, and then you go type def S Tetris data, something like that. Or do you do this? See, this is me not even knowing the heck what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. So that's what you do. Okay. So there we go. That's up there. And then in main, I can include that. Tetris include data models / Tetris data model.h. Is that right? Nope, that's not right. It doesn't like that either. Gosh. Why doesn't it like that? If I try and build it, file not found. Okay, let's go back to my main file. And I guess, do I need my include data models Tetris Data model.h, is that where I need it? How's that look? Nope, nope, that doesn't like that either. Okay. I include. Can I do that? Huh. No, I can't do that either. Why does this not work? If this were out here, would this work? I think that works. Build that. And CST int doesn't exist. What are you talking about? This is a standard C++. Yeah, I thought it was C. Oops. I thought it was C++. I don't want that. Get rid of that. Include types .h. Okay, okay, I give up. I'm just going to search for it. Oh, it literally is just std int. Like that? Crazy. So then that is that, and this is it's an unsigned char. Okay, very good. Okay, no, that's good. I like that. Okay, so that's fine. What's my issue here? Kill that. Kill that. Kill that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Problems. An included file, Tetris data model.h, line 7, column 18. Don't be stupid. Come on. Why does that not look right? Error occurred here. Oh, can you not do that in C? Maybe you can't do that. Whoops. Can you not have default? Okay. Type def. Struct. Thank you, Clang. No rule to make that. I don't need to put header files, do I? Why would I need to put header files? There. There. And then I can just run it and it'll be fine. Welcome to the Tetris tools. Okay, and that's fine. Okay, so now I want to bring it back in here. And then I'm going to go include slash data model slash Tetris.data model. Why can't that? Oh, wait a second. There, move it in there. Okay, let me do, let me look at this. Let me make clean everything. I think I'm supposed to run this at some point. Compile commands. Okay, let's actually remove this. We will make a Tetris data model. Include Tetris data. Include for symbol. That's stupid. What's that all about? Oh, for crying out loud. Because I put it under the V. Oh my gosh. Okay, this comes into the main. Oh. There's data models. There's source. Okay, and now I can delete that path. Move to the trash. Okay. Then I can do this. And that should be... No, I need the include. New folder. The include folder. The data models go into the include folder. Move it. There. There. Holy crap. All right, very good. Now we need a... This is the Tetris data. We are going to be able to... let's create a... the ability to print. What time is it here? Oh, I gotta get going. Okay, this is where we're gonna stop it. It'll be fun. Next time we'll continue. But this was the most painful video I've ever recorded, so thanks for sticking with me. Okay, we'll see you next time.